Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with designer Alan Ernstein, looking at Nevada City, coming from Rio Grande Games. This is not a final production copy,
no, it is
as
not.
I can tell by these stickers on the board.
Yes.
It's very helpful there. But the cover looks sharp.
Yes.
This is like the new third era of Rio Grande, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah,
Be in the front
new
of it,
production
so.
manager.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a sharp design. Really attracts the eye on the shelf. What do we find inside the box?
So what you find is an amazing amount of stuff. There's a ton of cards, components, and a nice long skinny board that will fill up almost everybody's table.
Okay.
What we have is a town building game. We're building the city of Nevada City, I guess, however you want to say that. And it is a combination of a worker placement and a resource management game.
Okay.
So,
I know we each represent a family.
Huh?
We have some family members.
Yeah. So you're yeah, make sure we can see that. So each player has a family, pa, ma, son, and daughter. And the worker placement aspect is that instead of just each person taking one action over and over and over again, you activate one of your characters and you take all of their actions at once. They have different numbers of actions depending on who is playing or which family member you have, and each of the family members have different skills that mean they're more efficient at different things.
Okay, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good representation.
Yeah, it's very heavy on the theme. There's gunslinging, there's gambling, there's all the things that you would find in an old west town. And each of the family members you can create resources by farming, raising cattle, or mining for silver, and then those resources you would sell for income.
Right. So each player is going to have their own board.
Each player has their own board. It actually comes with a cute little farm ranch gate that will have their brand, and you will play. So you'll build up your property, and that property then you can sell off in town to earn money, and the money is what you buy to get commodities, which then you use to build new buildings and to improve those buildings with contracts.
Okay, so what's the nature of a turn, or how does a round play out?
So there is within each year, there are as many as 6 or 7 turns, depending on how many characters you have. Everyone starts with 4. You can hire workers. An event will go off first. Early in the game, the events are relatively harmless. The struggle of the Old West comes more apparent the further you go into the game because the events get more difficult. They're fairly random. Then after an event is revealed and resolved, each player will activate one character, beginning with the sheriff. That's why we have the lovely sheriff's badge. And they will activate a character, take as many actions as that character has available. Okay. And so sometimes you're going to just work on your own property. Sometimes you're going to go to City Hall and purchase either cities or property to add to yours.
Okay.
And then there's also a market and production chart. So if you go and work your farm, the farm will produce whatever is on the production chart for each farm action that you've got.
Okay.
You can go to the city then, and you can go to the market or the stockyards to sell your crops or your livestock. That's how you would get money. So each player can do as many different actions as they have. It's usually between 1 and 4, and they will use those actions at different locations. Okay. So I might go to the assayer and sell my silver. So I have money then to go to the trading house where I can purchase the goods that I need for one of my other characters to construct a building.
Okay. And we will be building new buildings?
We're building new buildings. We'll fill up. So the game ends either at the end of the 4th year, or if there's any turn where the last building slot is full, then that will end. That will be the last year of the game, the last cycle of the game. So it's usually 3 or 4 turns.
Okay. Okay. It's a 2 to 4 player game?
It is a 2 to 4 player game.
And how does it change with different player count?
Well, actually, the ends of the board are 2-sided, so we modify the board as depending on the number of players. That controls the number of spaces, and there are some buildings that reduce the number of actions depending on the number of players. So you have fewer choices with fewer players, but it still works out to be the same kind of feel, and it scales really nicely.
Okay. Anything else you didn't mention?
No, I think it's. We hope to have it out hopefully by BGG-Con. We'll see how that works.
All right.
And but it's off and running.
Thank you very much, Alan, for coming to present Nevada City here at Origins, and we'll see this before the end of 2019 from Rio Grande Games. Thank you.
Thanks.